What's good, everybody? Happy Monday. We're changing things up a little bit around here, so maybe not the most efficient as we have been. But hey, welcome to the Closing Beat. If you're watching for the first time, my name is Dustin Tibbetts, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. This is our fun little stock market update. We got an interesting start to the week. If you look at the chart over here off to your right, you can see the volume has now come back to all the way where it should be, meaning everybody's officially back. All of the volume that was sort of on hold over the summertime has crept its way little by little back to average. That blue bar off to the side is letting you know that volume was perfectly average today. A little bit lower of a day, but still kind of a mixed and choppy market. We call this jello on a plate. If you put jello on a plate, you attempt to walk around, it just kind of sloshes around, does whatever. It doesn't really have a uniform direction, a uniform approach to it. So you had the Dow lower by 181 today. You should be able to see that on the screen. You got the S&P 500 down 10, but the Nasdaq was able to gain 6. We'll go over a few of those stocks here today. This week, the most important sort of thing is the interest rates, right? Wednesday, the Fed is going to, well, it's widely anticipated that they're going to raise rates on Wednesday. We'll talk about it, of course, on the Closing Beat, but everybody pretty much is expecting for rates to go higher. So that will play into the markets going into the latter part of Tuesday, Wednesday morning, and then, of course, into the afternoon. Basically, the reason why you see the market slow down a little bit in the Tuesday afternoon is the traders kind of stop. They sort of do a little bit here and there, but the short-term traders, the day traders, they all just kind of stop until the Fed puts out their announcement. And the reason for that is because at 2 o'clock on Wednesday, when they make that announcement between 2 and 2:15 of them talking about it, the markets actually get a little bit wild. And so if you watch a 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute chart, you'll actually see a bit of whipping around in there, and it's sort of like all the traders coming together along with all the algorithms and everything that trade the news all in one shot. And so the short-term traders love that, and they pretty much will sit back and wait until that happens. Now, cross my fingers. Here we go. We're going to try to press this button and hope that everything works out. On the screen, you see the S&P 500 down a little bit today. We already covered that. Like I said, the Fed week on Wednesday. Also, we mentioned that the last 2 weeks in September tend to be overly bearish, right? Not by a lot, but by about 0.5%. And so we kind of made the comments on Friday that, you know, look, hitting those all-time highs, what a great place to leave off for the rest of the week, for the rest of the month, and have the stock markets fall down a little bit. If that happened, nobody would really care. Basically, where we fell to today doesn't really scare anybody, does it? I mean, it's just a small drop in the markets, depending on what you're invested in. So let's bounce around a little bit. We'll take a look at a few things, and then we'll wrap it up here. Just want to test out some new sort of arrangements that we have. I already don't like it, so we'll be making changes. Price of oil. So energy stocks were higher today. The energy sector was your leading sector on the day. Very strong, actually. And the price of oil higher as well. Oil closed today higher by 2%. Hitting its highest price in over 2 months. You had, look, that OPEC thing. It keeps getting in the way. Over the weekend, you had Algeria, I think, and then some of the OPEC names said, look, we can't ramp up production. We can get there eventually, but we can't do it as fast as everybody was hoping. And so basically the price of oil hitting higher. So as the world pulls from the supply of oil and other countries don't improve on that or produce more, given that there's the Iranian sanctions, that's going to hold the price of oil higher here in the short term. Let's talk about some of the stocks in the news that grabbed some attention today. You got Comcast. Depending on the channel you watched, you would think this was the only thing that happened today. Comcast winning the bid to buy Sky News out from Fox and Disney. And here's the thing. If you watch CNBC, then you would have thought that was the only thing that happened in the markets. Why? Because Comcast owns CNBC. It's their parent company. So they, of course, wanted to tout success over Fox. And if you watched like a Fox Business News channel, they almost didn't mention it at all because they don't even want to talk about it. So it was kind of funny to see how news was filtered today depending on the channel that you watch. Anyways, that should be about the end of it. We had Comcast, Fox, Disney, and Sky News. This whole mesh of like companies trying to work together and buy each other out, bidding for each other, fighting for each other. Hopefully that puts it mostly behind us today. Comcast was down by 6% on the day. Very typical when a stock, when the purchaser gets hit like that. or buys the stock. Same with Siri. So Sirius XM, you're familiar with the satellite radio. If you spent some dough on a car and have satellite radio, they decided to buy Pandora. How cool is that? So Sirius Satellite now is going to own Pandora, which you might be familiar with. Pandora was basically flat on the day. Actually, it did close a little bit lower, but Sirius is going to buy them. I think they got a good deal considering what Pandora was starting to do. If you take the valuation of the company as a whole and kind of where they were, then they paid a lot. But I think Pandora was really starting to turn a corner there. They're going to spend $3.5 billion on Pandora, however, all stocks. So they're just going to buy out all the stock. That makes Pandora worth about $10.14, roughly where it was today, or at least to start the day. I see that it did close a little bit lower. And Sirius down by 10% on the day, breaking through recent lows, so if that's something you follow. Let's look at a couple of the airlines here. American Airlines down by 3.7%, a little bit there with the higher oil. Delta Airlines 3.71%. United Airlines down on the day 2.3%. Actually, I'm starting to like these charts here. They're pretty quick. Southwest down 2.5% on the day, and so we've got higher oil prices, and then we have some rules. The FAA got rid of a few rules. If you're a frequent traveler, you may want to know this. They got rid of a few of the rules to charge fair fees for changing flights and for baggage. So the FAA announcing that they're getting rid of the reasonable fee proposal for baggage and changing flights. Is that a good thing? I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But so far, not too bad. Nobody's really complained. Remember, American Airlines raised their bag fees by $5 on Friday. In other news, have you ever heard of Dell? Remember the company Dell? They sell the computer. Do I have a Dell? I don't even have a Dell computer. So they're trying to go public again. They used to be a public company back in the day. I don't know. We posted on Instagram or something. The dude, what was it? Dude, you're getting a Dell. Remember that commercial from like the late 90s? Anyways, Dell was a public company. They went private to get their dough straight, get things figured out, get all organized again. They took a long time to do it, got a lot of help. They obviously are firing on all cylinders. They want to go public again, so it was rumored that today they were actually interviewing banks to help take them public. So look for maybe a Dell IPO coming up soon. Remember a while ago there was the thing where he tried to go to VMware, owns a big portion of Dell. Michael Dell tried to go to VMware and buy out only the Dell portion, essentially taking the company public. It totally backfired. It's a long story. It didn't work out for him. So he is, they're just going to launch again, maybe under the ticker symbol Dell. So we'll see what happens. Let's move on. So other stocks in the news today, you got Michael Kors. That one was down by, well, okay, 8%, closing right at the 200-day moving average. If you happen to follow along with that one, they're going to buy Versace. I believe the deal was $2 billion to buy Versace, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if I wrote it down. I didn't write it down. It may be in the ticker below. That's probably where I remember it from. And then other news, Sears. They're trying to restructure their debt. You know, they got to do something, right? They're running out of money. People ain't got no more money. They're trying to ask creditors to restructure their debt. And let me just take a quick look around. All the names that were basically lower today were deal-related or airline-related. I see General Electric finally broke to new lows as well. Remember, General Electric, the street's got a price target on them. Price target on them of $10. So the stock closed lower on the day by another 3.5%. That's breaking to new lows. So that's going to grab a little more pressure to the downside. JP Morgan's going to add 50 more branches in Pennsylvania and so on. You guys get the idea there, I think. You know what's going on. Typical Monday, I would say, with a little pinch of heavier volume. So if you're participating in the markets, then that's the case there. Let me have a brief look and see if I can happen to help out here. Yep, if you, your dividend ETFs were on sale today. Cool. Hopefully just the start, right? We're actually going to do a class for our customers. We've got a lot coming up, man. For our customers, we have all new allocation models. So instead of investing in one of our funds, we've been running tests against all of them to figure out what happens if you had mixes of a ton of different portfolios. Given that we don't pay trading commissions, you can have as many positions as you like because we have fractional shares as well. We're finding that by having 7 different funds, depending on how you want to invest, by having 6, 7 different funds mixed together, you actually outperform being in 1 or 2 of them. And so that's our goal. That's all we do is just figure out how to improve, how to improve, how to improve. So we're going to be announcing that. But we're also going to be announcing, we're going to do a class. I'll try to get it posted on the events tab for you. We're going to do a class on buying the market when it's discounted. What on earth does that mean? How does that work? How does that go? And why you should prepare to be excited for that. Statistics, how it's going to work, what it means for your long-term retirement, and what's going to go on with that. So that's that one. Also, Cody's asking, when do you plan on doing more in-depth stock analysis videos? That event was posted over the weekend. Is it next week? I think it's next week. We're going to do our class for our customers where we teach you something really quick, and then we start talking about stocks and in-depth analysis for all these different things. Tomorrow at 1 p.m., look for an in-depth analysis of limited brands live on YouTube. That one will be public for everybody. But essentially our wine and wealth and stock talk is going to be happening almost weekly now, but I don't think it starts this week. I think it's the week after, and that'll be in the evening. Of course, all of our customers will have their video replay. They can watch it whenever they like. So we'll see. Dangerous in trying to value a company and determining over under a value. That's not the goal of the class, actually. So we won't be coming up with, is something a good value or is something on sale or something like that. I mean analysis to help people with the investments that they have in their current portfolios. Does it make sense? Does it help? Does it add? Does it speed it up? Does it slow it down? What's happening to the whole thing? I like the stats. I don't mind looking at fundamentals, Sky, but I like stats. I want to be able to tell somebody, start here and you'll move at this speed. You'll get to where you need to go. I don't like guessing. Balanced portfolio contains the following: growth stocks, international stocks, real estate stocks, resources ETFs, and long-term treasury bonds can still yield. So Jeff has a very specific way of looking at it. I would say, Jeff, cool. If that works for you, that's great. We would like to offer something and be able to prove that it can do better than that, or do in line with that, or do something a little bit more conservative than that, depending on what the person's goals are. So while a balanced portfolio may consist of those things, in your opinion, does that suit the person that is supposed to be investing on? That's what I got to be really careful about. I can't say that a good portfolio mix is something because it's technically not suitable for everybody. But thanks for the input there. We'll be announcing more of that coming up shortly. Lots of changes to the website, and some of you may already notice changes in your account little by little. Hint, hint. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up there. If you have any questions, you guys know where to find me. I appreciate you watching. Hit the subscribe button if that's all you do today, right? If you've been sitting there eating Cheetos with a case of the Mondays, hit the subscribe button. That would be great. Really help us out for future classes that we're going to be doing for the industry. I'll talk more about it later, but enjoy and have a great rest of your day, guys. See ya.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.
Hey, wait! Before you go watch one of our other great videos, have you had a chance to see our new Fin Tips videos? They focus on one topic at a time, covering investing, personal finance, and anything that can quickly help you with your dough. Best of all, we'll keep it real short, because we know time is money.